Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
All right, so Kentucky gets the win tonight. And Missouri kept it close. Like, I actually give them credit because I thought it could be a blowout situation. But you wonder, too, if this young Kentucky team, are they getting up for every single game? I don't know if they do. That's probably the one thing you worry about with them more than anything. We saw it with UNC Wilmington. You've seen it with St. Joe's, who almost came in a rup and beat them. Probably should have beat them. And tonight, honestly, it's the old dude who kind of rescues him, Trey Mitchell, 20 and 14. And Dillingham, I'll tell you what, Dillingham has been the big. A lot of people would say Reed Shepherd's been the biggest surprise for them, for Kentucky. I will say it's Rob Dillingham, because when I saw him, he was so out of control at times. Now, exciting as hell and could go for 25 or 30. But the next night, he was like almost like a Malik Monk type, where he'd go for 30 and then the next night he'd go for 4. And he has been so much more efficient. Now, he's had his off games, obviously, as any freshman's going to have, Tyler. But 23 points tonight in 19 minutes and efficient as hell again. I know Kentucky's your favorite team, Tyler, so I'm giving you the floor because they keep winning. They're up to number 6. And if they go to the Final Four, you have to go to the Final Four so some of these Kentucky fans can tell you what they really feel about you in person.
Well, I hope they don't go to the Final Four, but they are a Final Four team. I mean, they're a contender, and it pains me to say this, but Kentucky's going to get better and better as the season goes on, in my opinion. And you're seeing a lot of growth from the freshmen and the young kids that they have. I really, really like the way that Reed Shepherd's playing. I think he's been consistent. Like you said, he's been a big surprise. But also the Bradshaw kid, I think he's been in and out all year, but he's starting to catch. I mean, this team's going to get better and better. And Mizzou, I know a lot of people aren't high on Mizzou this year. They're not the team they were last year, and they can get hot. They rely on a ton of threes, but they can get hot and stay with people. But yeah, I mean, this is what you're going to see from young teams. You're going to lose to UNC Wilmington, and then you're going to have big wins, but it's peaks and valleys. But this team is going to get better as the season goes on.
Guards,
Yeah, I
Dalen.
totally agree.
Guards, man, they got him.
Yeah.
They got him.
Yeah. Well, to Tyler's point though, getting Bradshaw, I think it's his 5th game he played, maybe a 6th game back. So like he's a freshman that's just scratching the surface. And guys, he can pop out, knocked out a jump shot. I don't know, Cal doesn't love him shooting threes, but he showed it today. I don't know, a baseline jumper from 15. He's more than just a big that they're not going to throw him the ball in the block and score right now, but he can do some other things that can help you offensively, help them defend, help them rebound. Their ceiling's huge. It really is. And that's why this game, I loved it for the over. It was 159.5. And to your guys' point about a young team, why I didn't know if they would just blow Missouri out is because you come off that amazing win against Florida where, you are road dogs and the line stunk and the public was heavy on Kentucky. And very rarely is Vegas wrong on these things. Public was all over. It was 90-10. But they went out and they won and took care of business at a good Florida team that but struggles to when they step up in Class 2 to win their big games and big opportunities. I hope they will later in the year because I like their makeup of their squad. But then when you look at, they're got to go on the road at A&M. Coming up this weekend, an A&M team that people thought would be really good, thought would contend for the league title like they did last year. So this is a classic trap game, and they handled the game pretty well. The concern with them is they know they can score, and this game really showed it. They can just, at times, just not really care defensively and then go the other way and score. And that's the first half. I think they were like 97 points in the first half because neither team, like Missouri couldn't guard them, and Kentucky it didn't seem like they were really locked in to try to guard them. Second half was better, 30% field goal percentage defense. They definitely were better in terms of locking down the lane. There were a bunch of straight line drives with no help for layup for the Tigers in the first half. Didn't happen as much in the second half. And then they eventually pulled away, and they did cover if you took them. But this team's ceiling, maybe more than anybody else, is high because they have the guards. They can play a pace. They can shot make. They got different dudes that can hurt you on different days. 5 guys in double figures tonight. And like I said, Bradshaw coming into his own, and the other bigs are trying to get fully in the mix too. Like there's a lot to be said for what could happen there. Now it's a lot for Coach Cal in the next 15 games or so in league play to build that all and get it going and keep it going in the right direction and get to that ceiling. But they have massive potential.
Yeah, I mean, listen, again, when you've got the talent that he does, And I never thought it was like an elite class like some were talking about, right? And I still don't think it is. But they meshed together, Reed Shepard with
Exactly.
And the key was Huggs being fired because Trey Mitchell's kind of saved him, and Antonio Reeves not being eligible to be able to transfer anywhere else after taking classes at Illinois State in the summer. Like they got a little bit of a break with both of those. And without those two, think of what this team would be. I mean, they would be too young to be able to win. But those two guys have bought in and led some of these young guys. And I said it the other night. Listen, there's nobody better at getting guys, young guys, and a young team to kind of understand their roles than John Calipari. Nobody better than getting them to grow up. Listen, there's a lot of people that will hammer Cal for his lack of X's and O's and coaching. But NBA guys, what they'll tell you is a lot of those kids, when they come in, mentally, they come in more prepared than a lot of other players that are coming out of their first year of college, period.
Yeah, and that's shown in the results in the draft in recent years and how guys perform that aren't, there aren't Karl Anthony Towns, whether it's Quickly or Maxey, or you go down the list of different dudes. I will say this, for coaches to assess your talent, to address what you have, and then to build out your system every year, it's really freaking hard. And for Coach Cal, what he's done this year said, we're going to play this way, and we're going to get everybody bought in. And I don't have my bigs yet, but we're going to figure out how to play when we get them, and we're going to fold those guys into the mix and not miss a beat. I think he takes just because you have big classes and people are highly rated does not mean they're going to work on the college level. We see it all the time. And doesn't mean they're going to fit together. All those things are different variables that are a lot to deal with. And then you do need older guys. We've seen that in recent years. Old wins in college basketball. I think with Reeves and Mitchell, they may have enough old in the mix and some old heads. Those freshmen play well beyond their years right now, and I think that's really critical. But Reeves may be the most improved player in the country, guys. His ability to finish around the rim now, and he's off the bounce all the time. And he's a dead-eye shooter. I love watching that kid play. And his improvement from last year to this year is amazing.
Hey, Tyler, when's the last conversation you had with John Calipari?
I can't remember. I'm not sure I've had many conversations with him, to be honest. But Dalen, he kind of hit it on the head. I mean, first of all, Kentucky should have a great recruiting class every year. They're Kentucky. And I'm sick of hearing that after a bad season. But the one thing I will respect is he will go with two bigs, and he will change his style of play to fit his team. And that's not easy to do, and a lot of coaches won't do it. But you got to give him credit for doing that.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.